Hey everybody, welcome to
Hello.
Pop Track, your BP1 and BP2.
Yep, indeed.
We're indeed. I thought you said windeed. We're back with a lovely request from the lovely Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
Amanda
Hope you're
well. She is one of our VIP patrons, and she also head over to buymeacoffee.com/BritPopsReact to follow up with some of the stuff that we've been doing recently around September the 11th.
Yep. So Amanda recently asked us to check out the Yellow Ribbon, was it? Airlift.
Yes, in Canada. Yeah, that was amazing actually to know.
Yep.
He's just taking in people he didn't know, and the love and support that they all
amazing
came
sort
together
of
with. It was amazing.
Amazing sort of resilience and sort of bonding by mankind, which is great to see. Doesn't see it often, or if we the thing is, no, I say that it probably does happen often. It doesn't get told, and that's why we had no idea. So it was great that it was brought to our attention, and we are now much the wiser for it. So this one is an untold tale of 9/11 resilience, BOATLIFT.
BOATLIFT. Okay. Well, I don't know anything about this. BOATLIFT is the title, so it's obviously something to do with boats. So yeah, let's just get into it. And
you see why I hang out with him, can't you?
Hey,
brains of the operation.
That cell was in overdrive. I'm telling you.
Let's go.
All right, let's go. A hero is a man who does what he can.
I thought I was watching a movie, Towering Inferno at first. And then I looked real close, and I noticed it was the World Trade Center. I was compelled because I'm a type of person that can't stand by and watch other people suffer. And to me, they were suffering. They wanted to get off the island. And there was no way for them to get off the island other than the water. And I had noticed when I was watching the television, I saw a lot of, the ferries going up into the slips and taking people off. I said, fine, we could do the same thing. I could take people on my boat, get in there, take them where they have to go. And that's what we did.
Okay. Still hard to imagine anybody done that.
It's harrowing, isn't it?
Yeah.
On the morning of September 11th, when the towers came down, millions of people ran for safety. Hundreds of thousands of them ran south to the water's edge. That's when they realized that Manhattan is indeed an island, and that they were trapped.
They were feeling helpless, and that's the worst feeling in the world. What was a person on the ground going to do? Buildings were down. There were people laying under the rubble of the building. Firemen, civilians. My wife was there, and I turned around. I says, I've got to go do something. Just like that. And she looked at me. She says, what are you going to do, you maniac? I says, I'm going to take the amberjack up into the city and help. She says, but what if they're attacked again? I says, well, then that's something I have to live with. I says, I have to do what I have to do. I says, and nobody can stop me right now. Even if I save one person or I rescue one person, that's one person less that will suffer and die.
Wow, great art.
They were trying to evacuate Manhattan because nobody knew what was going on. You didn't know if something else was going to happen. It was just, a madness on one side and, and wanting to help people on the other side.
They were just streaming out of the buildings, and the first mode of transportation they saw was a ferry boat. That's when they knew, this is how I'm getting out of here.
I had
they
no
didn't even
idea
care where the boat was going.
No idea.
There wasn't panic in New York in the beginning.
People ran down the street, that's what you saw, isn't it?
It wasn't until the first building fell that there was panic.
Yeah. Fuck.
You heard the building go down, but we're in the slip, so we can't see it. That's when we started letting go, and then all of a sudden, engulfed. You couldn't see anything.
People were actually jumping into the river and swimming out of Manhattan. Boats were very nearly running them over.
Wait. These people wanted out of Manhattan no matter any way they could.
Somebody wants you to go over there.
Every mode of transportation out of Manhattan was shut down. All the subways were shut. The tunnels were all closed. They closed the bridges. They closed everything immediately.
Boats, usually an afterthought in most New Yorkers' minds, were for the first time in over a century the only way in or out of Lower Manhattan.
The process that actually had already started. There were some boats that were grabbing people, that people were lined up at the walls.
On the left.
It's just human nature. You see people in distress on the seawall in Manhattan begging you to pick them up. You have to pick them up.
They didn't know what was going on. They seen the building getting hit with these two planes. As far as they was concerned, you know, we were being bombed.
Yeah,
I was wondering if they were
next?
going to come on the boat, if they had people with bombs, or if they were going to come on. We're a big orange target in the middle of that harbor. My job is to keep the boat safe, my passengers safe, my crew safe.
Everybody was in shock, running around. They didn't want to leave their families. They had loved ones running around the city.
Anybody has a baby? Nobody has it.
There was one guy ran from the apron and jumped onto the boat. He grabbed onto the metal, climbed up right next to the pilot. So I'm going out there to say something. He slides down to the next deck. So the deckhands get him and go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm jumping for my life. So, you know, you couldn't argue with him there.
There was a small boat that was at the lower tip of Manhattan. I thought the boat was going to flip over because so many people were trying to get on. And as I looked behind, they were just 10 deep. And that's kind of what gave us the idea.
We decided that this has to get better organized and we better do it, and that's what we did.
So we decided to make the call on the radio. All available boats. This is the United States Coast Guard aboard the pilot boat in New York. Anyone want to help with the evacuation of Lower Manhattan, report to Governor's Island.
Wow, this reminds me of
When that call came on the radio,
Dunkirk. Was it Dunkirk?
they were coming.
I was uncertain of who was going to respond.
Normandy, yeah.
About 15, 20 minutes later,
yeah.
there are just boats all across the horizon.
Literally 100 targets converging on the lower part of Manhattan.
When we came out of that dust cloud, tugboats, I'd never seen so many tugboats all at once.
There was just like a fleet of tugboats headed to Manhattan.
If it floated and it could get there, it got there. All different size, shapes, and forms. I mean, and they were zooming across this water.
Ferries, private boats, party boats.
I worked on the water for 28 years. I've never seen that many boats come together at one time that fast. One radio call and it just came together just that fast.
Amazing. Oh, I've got my old hairs standing
Hundreds
up
of
on my
boats
arm.
converged on the city,
Maybe.
leaving the sun-bathed.
Let's just pause it a minute because some of this footage I've never seen before.
No.
Especially, you forget actually that the dust cloud that was created and the panic of setting in because a lot of people wouldn't have seen anything come down. Like he said, all we did was hear it, and as far as you're concerned, you're under attack. You need to get out, and get away. And I forget that Manhattan, Lower Manhattan is the island, and there's no way out. But wow, this is amazing, isn't it? All these boats coming together.
Yeah, I mean, you can see, the dust cloud just engulfing the water there. And as I say, if you're sort of in the middle of that, first of all, you're kind of disorientated, aren't you? So if you're in the middle of a street, you kind of know, well, the water's that way. I'll just go that way. It's got to be out of sort of harm's way.
Scary, man.
And I mean, you mentioned like the D-Day sort of evacuations.
Yeah.
This is probably the only way that you could get that many vehicles into one location quickly, because if it was a road, it would be congested, and then that would sort of slow down, hinder the sort of relief work. This, because it's water, they can come in from everywhere and as long as they don't hit each other, get there quickly, you know. So brilliant idea by the guys to do that. And as you say, just seeing so many boats coming across must have been unbelievable, to be fair.
And the amount of people.
Yeah.
You forget, you know, because it...
Evacuating an island, aren't you, basically?
Well, yeah, but it's high rise. I mean, it's very high rise.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. You
know? Yeah. Oh, dear.
Wow. Okay, let's keep watching.
Okay.
8th Harbor behind them. Dead ahead. The unknown.
That was something I won't forget. It was just low, dark, acrid, black smoke. It's like there was a big chimney in Manhattan. When we pulled into Pier 11, the dust was unbelievable.
And then out of nowhere, you just kept on seeing people coming.
They looked like zombies coming through the fog, and you knew that those were human beings.
Don't leave us. Please don't leave us here. Take us.
Do you need help?
At that point, the Coast Guard said, not how many people are you allowed, how many people can you fit?
Come on, guys. Anybody coming? Get your ass over here now. Now. Come on.
Boats started hanging. Literally would take a bedsheet off a bunk and a can of spray paint and paint their destination on.
Gotcha.
Some of these people never been in the water, never been on a boat before.
Housewives, workers that do windows. We had executives. And the thing that was the best, everyone helped everyone.
I want you to hold my hand. Come on board. Get inside. One at a time. Get inside.
I saw 4 businessmen lifting up an old woman with a seeing eye dog, a German Shepherd, and they lifted her up like a surfboard and passed her over the handrails.
When we would carry a load of people over, and there was somebody standing there that seen their husband or wife, you know, that made us feel even better, you know. Well, at least we got 2 back together, you know. Keep on.
What's amazing, just watching this, is the amount of footage, because obviously this is 2000, and what, you know, camera phones weren't a massive thing then, were they? So where's all this footage coming from?
Well, I guess, I mean, a lot of the cameras had video built in, separate cameras, but yeah, I mean, it's,
you know, to sort of be in that kind of environment and frenzy and panic, and then for people to then film. I mean, now it's more common, isn't it? People get the phone out first before they dial 911 or whatever. But, you know, back then it was a completely different culture, and they weren't quite so ready or available. So the amount of footage and stuff and close-up things that they've got is unbelievable, really.
I guess tourists as well, they would be more the ones that have probably got their cameras on them.
Yeah.
You know, filming maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's to see the boat coming up, you know, and picking people up. I don't know. You're right. I mean, did they have cameras like security? Some of them were security maybe, and I don't know. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's mad seeing the actual footage, isn't it?
Yeah.
Going, you know.
The guy that works at the ferry, he's a welder. His son was on my boat. He actually came up. He thanked me.
We went back and forth all day long, carrying boatloads, as many as our boat would hold. And it was a lot of people. A lot of people.
Yeah.
You couldn't have planned nothing to happen that fast, that quick.
No training. This was just people doing what they had to do that day.
You forget all about what you're supposed to do, what they teach you in school, and you say, you know what? Morally, this is the right way to go, and deep down, this is what I'm gonna do.
Average people, they stepped up, and when they needed to, they showed me, you know, when the American people need to come together and pull together, they will do it.
I do feel a way honored that I was a part of it.
It was the greatest thing I ever did with my life.
The greatest day that I've ever seen in all my boating. I mean, my life on the water.
The Great Boat Lift of 9/11 became the largest sea evacuation in history. Larger than the evacuation of Dunkirk in World War II, where 339,000 British and French soldiers were rescued over the course of 9 days. On 9/11, nearly 500,000 civilians were rescued from Manhattan by boat. It took less than 9 hours.
Asks. 500,000.
Less than 9 hours.
And that's crazy. I mean, that is a
I
lot.
believe somebody has a little hero in them. You gotta look in.
That was Hanks.
And
as
it's
well.
in
That was
there.
Tom Hanks. No?
It'll come out. It need to be.
I have one theory in life. I never want to say the word I should have. If I do it and I fail, I tried. If I do it and I succeed, better for me. And I tell my children the same thing. Never go through life saying you should have. If you want to do something, you do it.
Yeah, something.
Wow, I did not know that. I mean, there's lots of things I did not know about 9/11. Apart from obviously what we are shown or what we've known in the British media around the time, but no idea the panic of the day and how people, you know, moved around, moved out, and seeing that, I mean, wow.
Completely different perspective from the shoreline, isn't it? You know, because everybody else was kind of, you know, all the emergency services are coming in, and you know that. But then again, where are all these people going? Now we know, you know, and as Tom put it there into perspective, 500,000 people in 9 hours evacuated. You know, unbelievable.
That's unbelievable. No idea the scale amount of people.
No. You know, so many people displaced as well. I guess a lot of those, you know, actually resided in Manhattan. So where did they end up once they got on to the other side? You know, very, very, very interesting. So thank you, Amanda, for sending us that over. And just goes to show, you know, when the chips are down, people just are selfless. Will stand up. Will come forward. And as the man says, you know, there's a hero in every one of us. You know, when the time comes. So don't ever put it off.
No. Some great words in there, and very humbling.
Yeah.
You know, to see, you know, everybody coming together. Well, thank you, Amanda.
Thank you very much.
And I know there was a lot of comments as well out there from different people saying, you know, to check out the boat lift. Certainly after the last, you know, yellow ribbon one we did.
Yes.
So appreciate all your comments, and do let us know. You know, were you on one of the boats? Were you evacuated? You know, did you answer that call? Did you hear that Coast Guard? Anything of that time, you know, do let us know in the comments, because it sort of builds the picture, and it builds us. It's always more fulfilling, you know, fulfillment.
You feel more, you feel,
you know,
like,
when you talk to anybody or something like that. So,
brilliant. Okay, well, thank you very much. Tough topic, but I mean, you know, I think it's something that everybody should hear about, because I mean,
think so. Yeah.
It's just a wonderful effort by everybody just coming together, selfless people. So thank you, Amanda, for bringing that one to our attention.
Okay, well, you joined us.
Yes.
React. We react
now we're going to come and join you.
All sorts of stuff on the channel. So do check the channel out, and do hit us up with a request. All the links in the description.
Thank you very much.
Join us at the channel. Until tomorrow, it's goodbye from me.
Lovely goodbye from him over there. Bye-bye.